Good afternoon and welcome to the on-record portion of the Rockbridge Report. I'm Gage Smith and joining me today is George Yuji of the Southern Inn. George, thank you so much for coming today.
You're very welcome, Gage.
Well, I'm going to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. First of all, I know you suffered an unfortunate fire this past summer. Could you talk a little bit about the progress the Southern Inn's made since then?
Well, as most everybody knows, in September we opened up a temporary location hidden back behind the liquor store and Subway, and that's chugging along. And really, we're starting to make quite a bit of headway on the renovations. They've pretty much gotten most of the air conditioning in, electrical, all that kind of good stuff is plumbing. Upstairs has all been roughed in. We're going to start finishing up the drywall so that we can start painting and moving on soon.
Oh, great. Have you noticed any, besides obviously the building, have you noticed any major differences in the volume of business you do or your customers?
Yeah, we have noticed a lot of difference in the volume of business that we do. And the customers, we just don't get the Main Street foot traffic that we obviously got on Main Street is the biggest thing. But the community as a whole has been very good to us and still come on over and given us plenty of business. So we're very fortunate for that.
Good. And I know that there's been talk about bringing back the Ari Lee Hotel on Main Street. Seeing as it's so close to your business, do you feel as though that may draw more business to you? Do you anticipate any results of that coming towards your business?
Well, we would support anything that brings different people downtown and new people downtown for extended periods of time. And I personally think that renovating the hotel would be a great asset for the downtown area.
Well, that's great. Also, I know it's sometimes difficult for restaurants during the summer because the students are gone. Do you notice any major changes in business when VMI and WNL aren't in session?
We still do quite a bit of business when VMI and WNL aren't in session. Actually, once again, our business is a little different. But the Horse Center usually has quite a bit going on in the summer. There's a lot of tourists coming through town. And there have been, depending on the show, weeks during the summer that we do as much or more business than any week we do during the school year. So it's we still do plenty of business.
Right. Well, that's great. I know I've heard plans for the new restaurant are going to be a little different from the original arrangement. Is there a talk about maybe putting something downstairs in terms of catering or anything like that when you get into the new building?
Well, we've always had all of our production area downstairs in the basement. So we will continue to have that in the basement. We've actually lost a little bit of our basement space and had to redo things a bit. So we're with the stairwell that we're building off the back. We're also building a little bit of extra space that we'll be putting our bakery in the back. But other than that, it'll be everything will pretty much be like it was before. With under the bar will be our offices and our production space and walk-ins, etc. And then we'll go out into a new bakery area, but it should be fair. The basement will be very similar to what it was, but it should be nice.
Typically, and I guess in terms of tourism and all that, how much advertising do you do as a restaurant locally, statewide, anything like that?
Well, we've actually done more advertising the last couple of years than we ever have. Just because have always been kind of against too much advertising, because I feel that we have a very good word of mouth, and when people are in Lexington, where typically they get told to come to the Southern Inn. We, over the last couple of years, have gotten 2 billboards on the interstate, and we do some advertising in some statewide publications and whatever. But most of what we do is regional. And of course at this point we are active on Facebook and other social media.
Have you noticed a significant change in your business due to social media or getting any more clientele as a result of that?
Well, I don't know how much more clientele we get. I mean, there are people that see lunch specials and other things that we put on and come because of that. We've always had a pretty good email list that we've used for our special events, wine dinners, beer dinners, etc. And they're as much a reminder to people as anything, but they definitely do drive some of our business.
Well, speaking about the wine dinners, I know that you recently did something with the Rockbridge winery and all that. When you do those wine dinners, does it draw a bigger crowd? Do you feel like it's made more of an impact?
Actually, our Rockbridge wine dinner is coming up next month, but we get a pretty good, yes, we do get a pretty good crowd when we do things with Rockbridge Vineyard. And a lot of that is just because of the support that they get anyway. So we do get a few more local people. So I would say yes, it makes some difference. You always, the two forces working together is always going to gather a few more people than just one of us. But
on the note of alcohol, I recently read an article, and I know, in which you were interviewed talking about the new ABC restrictions. Can you talk a little bit about that and how it's impacted your business?
Actually, probably what you read was the Senator Hanger introduced a bill that would allow the Virginia ABC Board to refund partial licenses or apply those funds to other licenses. And I'm not really sure where that bill went. I was more than a little upset when I found out that we had only used our ABC license for 9 days, and it was totally unrefundable. We got nothing out of it after the fire. And so obviously I spent quite a bit of time on the telephone in the days after that with people in the ABC board, on the ABC board, and in the ABC department, as well as with our local representatives. And Senator Hanger was nice enough to introduce that bill. It would be very nice. It's not going to help us, obviously, but it would be, I think, very nice if people could at least apply some of those funds to a new license if they moved or whatever else. But I don't know whatever happened to that.
We'll have to look that up.
I will. Yeah.
Talking about your menu options, I know that a lot of Lexington's local restaurants, including yourself, pride themselves on locally grown food. What made you decide to use that, and how do you deal with local farmers?
Well, we started using local foods when we moved here and opened the restaurant. It was kind of part of why we opened the restaurant in Lexington. I grew up in the Rockbridge County area on a farm. My brother is a local farmer, dairy farmer, and makes cheese and sells beef. And that was all part of the thing when we originally did it 13 years ago. Since then, this whole local food movement has come around. But as far as dealing with farmers, it's just a matter of giving them some idea of what we can use and when, and them trying to produce it at that time. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And but the local food movement and the quality of products and the quantity of product and the variety has definitely grown over the last 10 years to make it much easier to find local products and to have them on a regular basis.
Sure. And I also know that you're involved with Lime Kiln Theater. They've got a new director and an interesting, financial situation. Do you have any thoughts on where the new director might take the theater? Is it going to go in a different direction?
Well, I wouldn't say that the director is going to take it in any different direction. And about 5 years ago, Lime Kiln had some financial issues. Over the last 5 years, we have, we've grown the organization, and the last couple of years done very well. We have a new director that is really just going to kind of stay on the path that the board has has laid out with kind of the plan and what we've decided that is good for the theater, and in talking to the community, what people in the community seem to be interested in. But part of Lime Kiln's future is to grow Lime Kiln's community. Lime Kiln can't just exist on Lexington and Rockbridge County. We need to reach out to the surrounding counties and communities, and make our area a little bit larger. And I think that we've done that. We've done Stonewall Country 2 years now. This will be the third, and hopefully next year we're going to get in. And we've collaborated with Washington and Lee on a play last year, and we'll have Washington Lee will be producing the students will be producing a play this spring as well, and hopefully we will be able to produce another play of some sort next year as Lime Kiln. So Lime Kiln's on a steady path of returning to being of regional prominence and doing very well.
Well, great. Well, I think that's all the time we have today, but appreciate you joining us. This has been the on-record portion of the Rockbridge Report. I'm Gage Smith. Have a great night.